Have you done the math on your outfit? How are you adding up today? I'm sharing the TikTok phenomenon, the 7-point rule of fashion. Hello ladies and welcome to today's video. I'm so glad that you have stopped what you're doing and paused for a moment with me. Now, hey, if you want to put your earbuds on and go for a walk, you could probably do that today. But I do have some outfits to show you. In fact, I think we're looking at about 4 different outfits. We're gonna see how I put them together to add up to 7. Yes, we're talking about the 7-point rule, which has become a big phenomenon on TikTok, I really think several months ago, and I'm just now catching on. I just now heard about it. Have you heard about the 7-point rule? Let me know in the comments below if you've already heard about this is old news to you, or if like me this is a new thing. So here's how we're going to work this today. I do have several outfits that you're going to want to see. These include some top sellers from Dress for My Day this spring and summer that you can also wear into fall. I'm going to be sharing with you how this principle works of the 7 points. I do have a beauty bonus with an offer you do not want to miss. And at the end of today's video, I have a special gift for you, but you're only going to get it if you stay with me all the way through. So stick with me. Of course, I want to hear your comments today too. I have lots of questions to ask you as we go. Let's talk about that 7-point rule. Now, before we go any further, you know I don't like rules. Actually, I'm a rule girl. I'm an over-rule follower, and that's why I have to be really careful about adding rules to my life. Instead, we're going to call this a guideline or a tool or a system, whatever you want to. I'm all for tools. I'm for formulas and systems that help me accomplish the goals that I have. But we don't want to straddle ourselves with another rule, ladies. Really, all those fashion rules have just gone out the window, so do not put this on you like a rule. I think, however, this could be a great tool to help you create outfits that you really feel confident stepping out in. So what we're going to do is we're going to add up the points of the elements in our outfit, and our goal is to be at 7. Now 7 is just like that optimal goal, ding! But you really could be anywhere around there, 6, 7, 8, 9, and even up to 10, and still be in that safety zone. So we're going to call it the 7-point fashion rule, fashion guideline, whatever you want to call it, and our goal is 7. Here's how it all adds up. Each piece of clothing in your outfit that is basic is going to get 1 point. Let's add up this outfit as we go. First of all, I'm wearing just a pair of linen pants. These have been top sellers here at Dress for My Day. And by the way, as we go, I will have YouTube shopping links here for you to click on and shop if you're interested. So many of these things are marked down right now, so it's definitely worth checking out. And I'll also have links to things in the description box below. If you want to scrounge down in there, click on the word more, and that'll all open up for you. These pants are from Talbot's. They were top sellers this year at Dress for My Day. They're just great linen pants, and I've topped them with a very basic black tee. So right now, the points we have are 1 point for that basic black tee, 1 point for those linen pants. You're going to get 1 point also for your accessories as long as they're basic. So I'm wearing some black little sandals here. Those are 1 point. So let's talk jewelry. Here's how I'm thinking about jewelry. Now, people are different on this. Some people give you a point for every piece of jewelry. Some people say you get a point for earrings, you get a point for necklaces, you get a point for bracelets. But my thinking is your earrings and your necklaces are kind of all in that same zone. So unless there's something really unique or substantial, like you have on a chunky, necklace up here, I think you get a point for your earrings necklace combination, because like here's some jewelry up here around your face. And then you get a point for jewelry that's around your wrist if it shows. So let's review again what we've got so far. We've got a point for the top, we've got a point for the pants, we've got a point for the sandals. We've got a point for my jewelry up top, and we've got a point for a bracelet down below. So right now we're only at 5. Our goal is 7. So I'm going to give us some easy ways to add some points. I'm not necessarily going to give myself a point for adding a watch here because it's just another, it's like a bracelet, but I do think a watch is substantial and it certainly elevates an outfit. So that's one of the first things I'm going to do. Now to add a point, I am going to tuck in that top and add a belt, because that belt gets another point. It's an accessory. So there's a point for an accessory. Now, if you have a basic jacket, like a blue jean jacket or a trench coat or something like that, you're going to give yourself 1 more point. But I'm going to add a rather unique jacket. This is a black and white gingham jacket, or actually I guess it's ivory and black gingham jacket. It's from J. Crew. I think they still have a few left and they are marked down. So this little jacket definitely adds some flavor, some interest to this outfit, and we're going to give it 2 points. So once again, to review, basic garments get 1 point. Basic accessories get 1 point. Regions of jewelry, like ears and neck, is 1 point. Wrist are another point if they show. Also, I would say rings. If you have rings on and bracelets, that's still just around your hands, your wrists, so all of that goes together. Unless, like I said, you have on some kind of costume jewelry or something that's really big and chunky, or maybe it has some color to it, then you would definitely probably want to add another point for that. That belt is a point. Accessories like belts and shoes and handbags are a point. So we do have to consider that. When we add a handbag to an outfit, that definitely adds a point. So let's add up these points again for this outfit. We got 1 point for pants, 1 point for top, 1 point for shoes, 1 point for belt, 1 point for upper jewelry, 1 point for the jewelry around my wrist, until we put on that jacket, which is 2 points, but we kind of lose the wrist. So now we're at 7, and you add a handbag, we're at 8. So do you see how the points are working? We're giving ourselves 1 point for the basic pieces in our outfit and 2 points for those that have a little interest, usually anything that is patterned, or maybe it's a bright, bold color that's contrasting to the rest of your outfit, or even if it is textured, like the shirt I'm wearing today. I would give this 2 points because it definitely brings some interest to the outfit. So what do you think about this so far? Here's what I think. I think this is a good guideline that could definitely help us to prevent 2 different extremes. It could prevent us from creating outfits that are so basic that they're boring because they have nothing really to them. Or they could also prevent us from creating outfits that are just over the top, that looks like we're trying way too hard because we put way too many things into it. And I do find that 7 is kind of that sweet number. You know, 7 is kind of thought of as the number of completion. Even in the Bible, 7 is the number of completion. And so sure enough, when you put together an outfit and you get 7 points, you've hit a home run, so to speak. But when you go over 10, I think you will notice that you really do the outfit begins to look crowded and overdone. You've just kind of like put everything on and not really thought enough about it. Again, the goal is 7. 7 is that magic number, but even an outfit with 6 is great. Now you go below 6, you might want to consider adding something. And if you go over 10, you might want to take something off before you go out the door, especially when you consider that adding that handbag or adding a coat or jacket or even your sunglasses is going to add another point to your outfit. Let's do another outfit. Here I'm wearing a pair of ivory jeans. These are J. Crew factory jeans, another top seller here at Dress for My Day this year. So I'm so excited to see that they are still available because these will be great jeans into the fall, ladies, and really even into the winter. And I've topped them here with a short sleeve version of this same top I'm wearing. It's a great little frame top that I got in the Nordstrom anniversary sale. Now it's actually back on sale at a pretty good price. This is a really elevated little top, so it is pricey, but it is on sale right now. So this top, because it has some texture, I'm going to give it 2 points. I'm wearing some little pointy toe mules that I also got in the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and they are textured and they have a big buckle. So we're going to give those 2 points. So already we're at 5 points. I see no need to tuck this top or add a belt since we're already at 5. I've added, of course, some necklaces and earrings for 6 points, and then I have on a bracelet for 7 points. If I add my handbag and a pair of glasses, I'm at 8 and 9 points. So this outfit is looking good. It's simple, but the points add up, especially because of that textured top. So this kind of gives us an idea of how important it is to wear elevated basics. If you are a gal who loves to create a very basic, streamlined, maybe a little no fuss, no muss outfit, because hey, I'm all here for that myself, then those elevated basics are really going to help you do that. You want to stock your closet with pieces that, sure, they are basic, they are minimalist, but they also have a little interest built into them, like maybe a collar or some texture or a pattern or a print. Let's talk a little bit more about prints and textures. Now I've created an outfit with 2 prints. I thought it would be fun to do this just to see how the points add up. So I'm wearing a pair of plaid pants from Ann Taylor, and they are a full length. I actually probably need to have these hemmed a little bit. And I've also though added a striped Frank and Eileen shirt on top. Lovely shirt, got in the Nordstrom anniversary sale. So yes, I am mixing prints. Now, if I were wearing that striped top by itself or with some jeans, I would probably just give it 1 point because it's a pinstripe. It's a really small little stripe in that top, so it still looks very basic. But because I'm wearing it with a contrasting print with those plaid pants, I'm going to give both of these pieces 2 points. I think because we get that contrast going there, we need to double up the points here so that we'll beware of adding too many points. So we got 2 points up top, 2 points in the pants, but I do need to tuck that top and add a belt, so that gives me 5 points. I'm going to add some pumps, that gives me 6. And the reason I went with pumps and not anything, over the top or extra, anything with like a, just a brogue or anything like that, is to keep that shoe basic. So now I'm at 6 points. Of course, I've got some jewelry up top, that gives me 7. I've also cuffed up my sleeves and added a bracelet, that gives me 8. So I'm sitting at 8 points even before I add my bag, which of course I'd need to do, and that gives me 9. And if I were to go out the door and needed to add a jacket, that would put me at 10. And I would need to wear something like a trench coat or something else kind of minimalist to stay under 10. Now let's change that out with a different top, because maybe you don't even want to mix prints. I think it's fun, especially with a minimally striped top and those plaid pants. But another great way to wear those pants is with a chambray top. Do you have your chambray top for the fall? I think it is such a great closet basic. So this chambray is from Talbot's. I don't know, probably from 2 or 3 years ago, but they always have them, so I can link you to one similar here. And I've just worn that over those plaid pants. Once again, tucked it and added a belt, but this time that chambray top just gets 1 point. The pants still get 2, so that brings us to 3. The belt gets 1, so that's 4. Add those pumps, that's 5. My top jewelry is 6. My wrist jewelry is 7. So now we're at that really sweet number at 7, and I think that's why this outfit looks so sharp. Of course, we would need to add a handbag for 8, maybe that trench coat for 9, but we're still under that maximum of 10. We're doing really well. So far, does it sound like this is a tool that could really help you out? I've been thinking about these numbers as I've been putting my outfits together this last week, and it has definitely helped me. Let's pause now for our beauty bonus, because I have a sale to mention to you that you are not going to want to miss. BK Beauty is having their anniversary sale. They're celebrating 6 years, and I'm so proud of that company. I'm so proud of Lisa J, who founded BK Beauty, and I love her. She's precious. But I also absolutely love their makeup brushes. This is a product I use absolutely every day when I put my makeup on. I have learned that 3 things are so key when it comes to makeup. Number 1, you've got to use good products. Number 2, you've got to do good skincare to prep your face. But number 3, you need good tools. And these BK Beauty brushes, they are the best tools I've ever come across for putting my makeup on. Right now at BK Beauty, you're going to get up to 35% off, plus they have a free gift I'm going to tell you about that I'm going to help you get also. I use this Angie Hot and Flashy 7-piece set. Now Angie is also a YouTuber over 50, and she developed these brushes in conjunction with BK Beauty, and they are made for a woman over 50. They're made for our unique needs, so I love them. They are perfect for me for my eyeshadow, just for everything, my blush, applying my concealer, everything. Just such great brushes. So I use these. Right now they're $99. They're normally $130. So that's $99. You're actually going to get this concealer brush from Angie Hot and Flashy for free if you purchase over $150 worth right now at BK Beauty. This is a great brush. I use it to put my concealer on just all around my eye. And it's kind of like a little cat paw. And I think that's what Angie made it to be like. It was like a little cat, stepping on your face, and you use it so gently and it just does beautifully in that area. But I also use the 106 round brush to apply my foundation. And I use this medium contoured foundation brush to apply my face powder, just in strategic places. And I use the mini contoured foundation brush to apply powder up under my eyes, on my nose, just in those little tight corners that are hard to get in. So if you were to get the round brush and either one of these and the Angie Hot and Flashy set, so basically everything I use, you would also get an Angie Hot and Flashy contour brush for free. Now, what would you do with that, you say? Well, you could either give it as a gift. Your daughter or daughter-in-law would love it. Or you could use it in another way. I guarantee you there are other ways to use it, maybe using it for eyeshadow or pressed powder. So many great ways. These are such great tools, and I just want you to be aware. All of these brushes are discounted right now, and I'm going to give you a link here as well as links down in my description box, of course. And I briefly wanted to mention that I'm wearing the same lipstick and liner and gloss that I wore last week. I'm using a Lancome lipstick, a Dibs liner, and a City Beauty lip gloss. So I'll link all of those down below too. Now, what do you do about a dress? How many points does a dress get? Let me show you. So here's another thing that has been a great top seller at Dress for My Day this year, and one of my favorite pieces from the summer, and that is this little gingham linen dress from Quince. I love this dress. It actually comes in several great colors and another plaid as well, and maybe a stripe too. Such a basic, great dress, but dresses get 2 points because they are, of course, from neck to wherever, and so you're going to give a dress, no matter what, you're going to give a dress 2 points. I kind of wonder if maybe if a dress has a bold print or pattern, if you shouldn't go ahead and give it 3 points. What do you think? I don't know if there's a rule about that, but you tell me, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. But we're going to give this dress 2 points. And then, of course, I have on some sandals, so that's a 3rd point. And then I have on some jewelry, so that's 4 and 5. Well, that leaves us really short, doesn't it? We are not anywhere close to 7, and we're still under that number 6, so we might want to do something different. So there are a couple of things you could do to elevate the points on this dress outfit. Number one, you could add a sweater over your shoulders. Now, I know some people say, why do you want to do that? Well, it is a style hack that is really current right now, and here's why. It's because it does add some interest to your outfit. And that it is important when you want to look polished and pulled together and a little stylish. Not just nice, but you want to look stylish. So adding a sweater here is a great thing to do. This is actually a cardigan from Ann Taylor that I absolutely love, and it goes with those pants that I showed earlier. But here I've just buttoned those gold buttons all the way up, put it over my shoulder just like a pullover sweater, adds some interest. I think this is a really great look. Now, another thing you could do though is instead of adding the sweater is you could just swap in a belt, a contrasting belt. Take off the little same fabric belt and add a leather belt or even a chain belt, whatever you got in your closet that would work here. That's definitely going to add some interest to your outfit. So what that does is it does bring us up to 6 points. You add a purse, maybe your sunglasses, you're at 7 and 8 points, so you're doing really well. The message here is when you are wearing a dress, you gotta think about how you can style it, how you can add something to add some interest to create a real outfit. In fact, in last week's video, I showed different ways to style a dress, so I'm going to link that up here and down below. Be sure to check out that video if you haven't already, because I had some great tips for styling the dresses in your closet now and that you can also wear into fall. And before I go, let me show you what I'm wearing today, and let's add this outfit up too. I have on some J. Crew straight, there's a slim wide, actually I think they're called slim wide leg jeans. They're really a straight leg to me, just more a relaxed fit. They're an ankle length, they just get 1 point. I have on this little textured sweater, textured button-up sweater. We're gonna give it 2 points, so that's 3. I'm not gonna tuck it in or anything, so we've already got 3 points there. My shoes are a basic little shoe. They're a little slingback. I almost added some texture, but I decided we might better not do that. They do have a little buckle, but I'm just gonna give them the 1 point, so that brings us up to 4. These are a great little shoe by A. Soliani. It's an Italian brand. absolutely lovely shoes. I'll definitely link those below. So we're at 4 points. You add my jewelry up top, that brings us to 5, and then you add my jewelry at my wrist, that brings us to 6. So we're just going to sit there at 6. If I go out the door, I'll grab a bag or my sunglasses. That'll get us up in the 7, 8 range. I think we're doing pretty good there. So let me know what you think about this point system. Is this something that you will use to help you create more interesting outfits, or is it just one more rule and you don't need that? You know, this is definitely up for debate. I'd love to hear from you. Now, I did create, or actually I had my assistant create a PDF, so a printable that will help you if you'd like, and we're going to give you a link below to that. Normally I reserve those just for my email subscribers, but this time I decided to give everybody here at YouTube one. So all you have to do is click on the link below for the printable, let's call it the 7 rule printable, and we'll get you over there so that you can print that out. You could keep it in your closet so that you could just have some more tips for how to pull together great outfits that really add up. Thanks so much for watching today, ladies. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel on the way out and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye now.